So I've got something that I think is exciting to show you. I'm a bit behind on this. That's not working. I can still read my address. That's better. So this was given to me by my twins, who are 42. Well, they'll be 42 this year in October, so they're 41. Anyway, I have this, it's Dear Homes. So that's, I think, the name. I haven't been to the site, their website. But anyway, I got this. This is the introduction letter. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. Basically explain what it's about. So she says, Dear Detective. And she just basically here is telling me that every month, but she says, doesn't say how many months. She just says many months. So I don't know how long it will, I'll be getting new cases, but every month I'll get a new case. And the thing is I'm supposed to try to solve it and then go to the website and write the case, who I think is the murderer. So it says every month you'll take on one new case. About once a week, you will receive a letter from the latest evidence from the client. So we have a client, one of my associates, or another involved party. After each letter, I will attempt to anticipate some of your questions and promptly corrections for them. Now, I suppose I did have another one, and I suppose it was a February one, but I was sick, so I didn't look at them or anything like that. But anyway, because I thought I only got 2 in February, but I think there's one more, because I've got the first one in March already. But anyway, it says Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective. And I love this. The game is afoot. It's kind of exciting. I have opened this, but I have not read it. So this is the game. Now, I don't know. John H. Watson, 221 B Baker Street. Of course, you know that's Sherlock Holmes' address in the books. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown here. Dear Detective, as autumn is now upon us, I trust that you have been well. No, I wasn't. October finds both Holmes and I in good health. Okay, this has taken place earlier because we're at spring now. So, yeah, 18 October 1901. I'm all over the place here. So, sorry about that. I just turned 70, if that's any help to understand. And I've been sick. So, for my part, I am overwhelmed by the amount of patients calling on my medical practice. This is Watson. The evening fog seems to be affecting a large number in London. As such, I find myself penning a letter to you once more. Might you be willing to apply your talents on this occasion to solve a troubling affair involving, Miss Hudson's niece? Miss Hudson, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Sherlock Holmes, Miss Hudson is the housekeeper. She actually owns the apartment and the furniture where Sherlock is living, because she's all the time on to him about how he treats her, the furniture and things. The case was brought to my attention yesterday evening by Miss Hudson herself. Her niece recently began work as a maid, and it appears that visitors to her employer's house are witnessing inexplicable visions. Her employer, Mr. Claude Duval, is a rather well-known aeronaut, and he and his wife are friends to numerous distinguished individuals, ambassadors, leaders of industry, even royalty. Thus, it is especially prudent that we ensure these visions are merely a product of chance or unusual circumstances rather than symptoms of a greater threat. If you are willing to lend us your mind once again, then please read my complete account of the circumstances according to Miss Hudson and Miss Charlotte. So the niece's name is Charlotte. I will include it along with this letter and ask that you consider several primary questions. Could the woman have been affected by something prior to their visit to Duval's house? If this was the case, then how were they so similarly affected at different times? If not, then what or who is responsible for their illnesses and why? So here's the address. While considering the evidence, I urge you to email any conclusions to our American associates. They can advise me by telegram, and I can respond in due time. So here is the question about videoing this. There is nothing given that says I can't. So I'm going to have to send an envelope. I'm going to have to do an email to Watson or the American associates and ask if I can film this. Because I don't know if this is something that they use over and over again for new people who newly purchase these, or if this is a one-off. I don't know. So I've shown you this, and you can ponder on the 3 questions that Watson gave us to see what you think. In the meantime, one of the twins sent me this, and I was wondering, why is he giving, because I make journals, why is he giving me a journal? Although it is a nice journal, and I do like it. But now I know why he gave it to me, to put my notes down for trying to solve this, all of these when they come in, trying to solve these cases. So let's go over, I'm going to go over again, what could the woman have been affected by something prior to their visit to Duval's house? Well, if she had some kind of stimulant, if she took something or something was put in her tea, then, well, I think that's possibly Yes, she could have been. Or her medication, she's given medication for whatever reason, and it was new to her. That's another one. It doesn't have to be something that someone has given her. And I don't know, I'd say a stimulant, but you know the thing I mean, something that affects your, like LSD. But that's not, you know, they didn't have that back then. So anyway, okay, and if this was the case, then how were they so similarly affected? Oh, at different times. So there's two here. Reading it, maybe so okay, it was Aeronaut and his wife. Whatever an aeronaut, near Aeronaut and his wife. So the two of them both had visions, and so they both had visions. So, and they had them at different times. But still in all, if you have been given something that you want to wear that was given, like I said before, tea, then you would. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you would have visions at the same time or even the same visions. And this is kind of reminding me of, I'm going to get his name wrong, but Kenneth Branagh's, what was the one? It was really good. I can't remember exactly the name of the movie, but I will put it in the link down below. But it reminds me of him having visions. And I'm not going to say, but you can probably guess, what caused his visions. But this is what this is reminding me of. And I wonder if that's where they kind of got this idea. Okay, if they're affected at different times, if not, then what or who is responsible for their illness and why? So, I'm going to give you these three conditions, and comment down below what you believe to be true. I honestly believe they were given something, either after they arrived early on or right before they left to come there. I don't know. It doesn't say how long it took them to get to the Duval's house, mansion, castle, whatever it is, manor. It probably surely is a manor if they've got royalty staying there. So, I don't know if other people were also invited, and that would also come into this picture, because if other people were invited, they may have had some sort of grievance against the aeronaut. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Just old Southern girls. So, so I don't know if there were more people invited. Well, I'm not going to put it in now. This is really stiff, so I'm not going to put it in now, but that's the one thing I would say. First off, that yes, it could have been from something before they got to the manor. It could be something that was given them early on if other people were invited, and unbeknownst to them, somebody wants them dead. It's going to be about money. Regardless of the fact, murder is always either someone wanting to get rid of a spouse so they are free to marry someone else. That happens all the time. But that's not going to be the case here. Or it's money. They're on the will. They're in the will and they want the money before. Or someone's in the will. If the husband dies, which back then was generally the case, not always, but most of the time, or the wife, gets everything. The husband dies, the wife gets everything, and then this other person, if both of them die, but we don't know any of that information. So, if you would give me down below, if you agree with me that it was given, we're going to say, because they didn't tell us other people, no one was invited, then other than themselves, and it even could be Miss Claudia, or it's Claude, Mr. Claude Duval. It could have been him. That's the third person on the will. Or for some reason, he's gotten word that this guy is going to affect his property or investments or something. And again, it's about the money. So, but it's right off the bat, was it affected by something prior to their visit? Now I'm going to let you look at this. So you can read this first page. And for now, that's going to be the end of it until I hear back from Watson as to whether I can actually record this. And until the next time, stay safe, and I'll see you until the next time.